working on something. Yeah, on that style, ride with a yellow. Alright. Check it out. Sweet Jones in a foreign car, shining like a motherfucking superstar.
No, I know that. Once I heard it.
Be a nigga since I was a kid. I'm over shame of all the things I did. Like cooking the stones and busting traps out the brawn. I keep a chip in my phone and put your dogs in your home. I'm the trillest of the trill, you can fake it, son, fake. Put the ass niggas in the club trying to get
Facebook ain't even cut us off, you know what I'm saying? You know why? This with me. Ain't no copyright infringement.
They say they remember hearing that walk too.
It ain't no copyright infringement going on.
We got the artist right here. Yo. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all are tuned in to the KamiKaze Chronicles. And man, let me tell you, we got a special treat for y'all tonight. You know, I'm telling you, y'all are in for a treat tonight. I'm like a kid in a candy store. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so happy, just filled with joy. You know? Hey, let me send a huge shout out to my sponsors, baby. Sonia Valentine Allen over there. She is the Kitchen Angel. You hear me? Y'all look her up on Facebook. She has a Facebook page, The Kitchen Angel, or you can go to www.thekitchenangel.com. Also, another huge shout out to Stacy Holmes.
What's happening, Stacy?
Over there with those Sudsy Bubbles natural soaps. Y'all hit her up. She has a Facebook page. Also, Sudsy Bubbles. Big shout out to her. Let's give it up for my co-host. Y'all already know who it is.
What's up, man? It's your boy DJ Reese Reed in the building as usual.
And we getting ready to turn up on y'all because we have none other than who we got, Reese?
Man, Mr. Show Enough himself. Mr. I Apologize. Mr. You Ain't Hard. Mr. Same Old Clothes. Mr. KamiKaze.
Y'all give it up.
Y'all too much.
Man,
too kind.
all that. Come on, man.
Y'all got sponsors, man.
Hey,
Like, whoa.
It's sponsors. Hey, get there, man. You know what I'm saying?
Shit is jumping off. It's
We
crazy.
tried.
Crazy. No, that's good.
We proud of our two sponsors, too.
right.
You better
You know,
believe
hey,
that. That's why we going to shout them out.
Some niggas got zero, so that's
Man,
good.
know what I'm
You
saying?
already on top of it.
Two brings three. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
No doubt.
And a three gonna bring another three. That's gonna be six.
Hey,
It's just gonna
all
math.
day.
Simple math.
All
Simple
day.
math. That's
Simple.
it.
Now, KamiKaze,
Mm-hmm.
I had people in, when I first started my KamiKaze Chronicles group, I was asking people who they wanted to see on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And your name came up.
That's good.
And I'm so glad we were able to make this happen.
Well, you know, whenever I'm asked, you know what I'm saying, if I got time, I'm going to come through and show up, man. I always love hollering at the folks. And, you know, people know I talk my talk. So, you know, I like to come around and do that. So I saw the show last night. And y'all had a whole lot of fun. I wish I was that last.
I know, right?
Yeah. And y'all was super turned last night. But, you know. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to follow up that performance on last night. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe after a few more of these drinks right here, maybe it might be all right. But, you know, I'm going to try to do what I can. We're going to set the bar low, and then we're going to go from there.
We got the dumb bottle today.
Mm-hmm. We do.
Just going on what you had said, you know, when you asked, you know what I'm saying, you check and see. And when I first reached out, you was like, I'm going to let you know. But you ain't say nothing, and then you hit me at like 6:30 in the morning. It was like, hey, man, my bad. I mean, you really kept up with your word.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you said, yeah, I'll be there.
I mean, keeping your word is important. I mean, you know, I'll be up that time anyway, man. I'll be up every day like 5.
What you be doing that early in the morning?
Working out, bro.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
That's
I mean,
what
I can't even really sleep past, like, when it get like 5:30, 6 o'clock, like my internal clock, I wake up even on days where I try to take off. I'm going to wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock anyway, so you might as well go on and get up and day. So, you know, early bird get the worm. That's never changed. So, you know, I try to get as much done before 12 o'clock as most niggas get done in a whole day. So by 12 o'clock, I try to have a whole day in damn near. You know what I'm saying? On most days.
So are you a gym rat or is this like a workout at home?
Nah,
you got that flipping tires.
I just like being healthy, and I like trying to live so I can be here for my little girl.
That's right.
But you know, I do flip some tires occasionally.
Okay.
As a trainer.
Okay.
You know, I do run. You know what I'm saying? I go and you know, for those that go over to Anytime Fitness on 55, you know, to see me over there. So I'm on the elliptical machine. I run. I flip a few tires. Shout out to my trainer, Terry at Totem Fitness. Out on Pear Orchard, you know what I'm saying? He got me right, so you know, you know, he was responsible for me, you know, knocking off all his weight, you know, like we was talking about a little bit earlier, man. So just trying to get healthy, man, keep some time on the clock, stay here for the kids, man, be able to run around for my kids, and be able to live, you know what I'm saying? Not be laying in the bed with your joints and shit hurting all night long, and your knees and back and shit hurting. You know what I'm saying?
Get up,
Fit life.
That was great. 'Cause I think I seen you in the window while I was going to eat.
Yeah, I mean, there's a restaurant right next to the gym right over there, man. So, you know, you can either tell when they pull up, you know, they going to either come to the goddamn right and come in there and work out, or they finna go into the goddamn restaurant.
And I saw I felt guilty. I was like, man, look at this man over here working out. I'm finna go feed my face.
Hey, man, you got to do it. I feed my face, too. That's one of the reasons I work out, too, so I can occasionally feed my face.
But do you eat tofu or, you
know?
No. You eat food.
I don't, you know, I wasn't never trying to really go, you know, hard with the eating thing. I just wanted to get myself fit so that I can eat other shit when I want to eat it.
Okay.
And I, you know what I'm saying, I still want my fried chicken, still want my key lime pie, still want my peanut butter Rice Krispies. It's like my favorite thing.
Peanut butter Rice Krispies? You take peanut butter?
Yeah, man.
Man, ain't nobody fooling with marshmallow.
Hey.
That shit ain't even real.
Man,
I went in Corner Market yesterday, man, because, you know, they had a little the peanut butter Rice Krispies stand. They always move it. And I went in there, and I was like, hey, man, where y'all move the Rice Krispies to? So the dude went down the aisle, and the nigga thought I was talking about the goddamn Rice Krispies. The devil motherfucker.
I mean, that's the original.
I was like, no, nobody want that shit. Where the peanut butter Rice Krispies at, nigga? That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm looking for.
That's the real Rice Krispies. I don't want that shit.
So those are on the shelf. They on the shelf in Kroger?
What that?
Peanut butter Rice Krispies?
Oh, no.
Of course not. You know why? Because it's not real.
I mean, it is real. It's just that something that, you know, our brothers and sisters prefer, the peanut butter Rice Krispies. Now, you can go to Kroger all day and get the white folks Rice Krispies. You can get that. That's just completely rice and sugar. I don't even know how to even meld that shit together. But it's there. If y'all want it, y'all eat that, man. But you know what I'm saying? I've been on that since elementary school. You know, we used to have a little square peanut butter.
Yeah.
The square peanut butter Rice Krispie.
Yeah.
And that little tray right there. That was the dessert right there. You used to have to stack them bitches up. They know what time it is. No.
Now, KamiKaze, you are considered one of Mississippi's legends when it comes to this.
I appreciate it.
I mean, you are.
I appreciate it.
How does that make you feel?
I mean, I never really set out to do that. That's not, you know, something that I really concern myself with. I just try to get up and just do what I do every day and try to contribute. You know, my goal is just to leave Mississippi in a better place than I found it. You know what I'm saying? When I started. So it's really, you know, a legend title or, you know, whatever the case is, like that's cool. But ultimately at the end of the day, you know, I'm gonna be judged by what I leave to everybody else coming behind us. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be judged by the knowledge I pass on, and my legacy is gonna be having people here that are leaders in this business and in hip hop and in the music scene in Mississippi. Leave people here who are able to carry on that legacy and pass the knowledge down so that it doesn't end somewhere. So that's gonna be my legacy at the end of the day. If you feel like that makes me a legend, you know, that's cool, but I would just rather say at the end of the day that, you know, I played a huge part in us being able to advance what it is we're doing. You know, when you get stuck on those titles and all that kind of stuff, it brings ego and a lot of other shit into it, and then, you know, sometimes it's not genuine. So, you know, I mean, if you feel like my resume, you know, is warranted of calling me a legend, you know, I'm cool with that. You know, if that's what you feel, you know, and I'm not gonna tell you no. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna say, you know, I'm gonna always say thank you and I'm gonna take it as that. But you know, after that, you know, I'm just me, and I've just done what I've done, and not trying to harp on it, and I appreciate it.
Oh, excuse me. Let me slap out. Like, this is all raw. It's original. Everybody playing with y'all.
It's happening right now.
But I don't know how we're going to change it at the time.
It's happening right now.
Okay, now, even when you saying, you don't really pay much attention or a lot of focus to that title. I mean, you have put the legwork in. I mean, when people was trying to do the things that you were doing, I mean, people were doing music, but I mean, you took it to a whole nother level. I mean, starting off with so did you start off with Crooked Lettaz? Did y'all was starting off with, did you have something?
I mean, we was in a crew actually, me and Banner, we was in a crew called the Stu-Pie Stowaways.
Okay.
And the Stu-Pie Stowaways was a crew of cats that was on Jackson State's campus, and it was a bunch of cats that was like from different parts of the country. So you on the yard, and there's a bunch of niggas from all over the country.
All walks of life.
And we were kind of like more the hip hop cats. So like Big was saying last night, shouts out to Big, he in the building. But like we were saying last night, we was rapping at a time when rapping wasn't popular, when niggas didn't think rapping was gonna stick around. You know what I'm saying? It was really only like maybe 4 or 5 niggas that was really pursuing music regularly.
Right.
And meant it, you know what I'm saying? And then you turn around, all the motherfuckers that was laughing at us, that was rapping back in the days, you holler at them 5, 6 years later, and they talking about they finna go to the studio and rap. But, we started out and there wasn't a lot of people. You could count the rappers on your hand. And then, you had, Renegades, which morphed Reese and Bigelow, and you had the 601 clique, which was, DSP and Valley of the Dry Bones. You had all them. You had Mississippi Mafia, Wood Street Players. You had all of them. And then our clique was kind of the clique of what motherfuckers called in the backpack. We was the backpack crew. We was the motherfuckers that really we dug a lot of the more East Coast hip hop. We dug a lot of the different shit, a lot of the conscious shit. That's kind of the shit that we was on. Even though we was everybody kind of fucked with everybody at the time, but we was kind of on the hip hop tip. So you had the 601 clique, you had the Stu-Pie Stowaways. So in that crew, it was me and Banner was in that crew along with a whole lot of other people. And we kind of just shot off from the crew and was like, we're going to put our own thing together. And because me and Banner would always go back and forth and we'd always battle within the group. So we had a little crew that was kind of like a Wu-Tang type crew. And when we did songs, you had to compete to get on the song.
Right. I've seen that in the studio
the best verse is going to get on these songs. So we would always compete. And, me and him always went heads up and competed with each other on verses. So he was like, shit, nigga, you cold, I'm cold. Let's put a group together. He came up with the name, just so everybody knows that, Banner came up with the name Crooked Lettaz because he was like, whenever they say our name, they'll be saying Mississippi. So Crooked Lettaz came from there. And, the rest just kind of took off from there. But, it started from us, being a crew. It started from us going to Inez's and doing shows. It started off with us going to
Inez. I was
taking
great.
Yeah, so it started off with going us to Inez's, and then, Donnie Money started doing shit at the UG. And really shouts out to Donnie Money, because Donnie Money was a motherfucker that actually put money invested in us having a spot for us to be able to come rap. Like, a lot of people don't know that. Like, at the time, it wasn't places for motherfuckers to really go rap back then. And Donnie Money, would take his money, even Frog to a degree, would take their money and they put it up.
What's up,
Mike? They put their money up, and we went to UG, and at that time, it didn't matter what kind of music you did. If you was a hip hop motherfucker, if you liked the backpack shit, or if you was a street nigga and you was doing street rap, everybody rapped in the same building. Yeah. And you just had to be good, period. It wasn't no different cliques and it wasn't no different places where motherfuckers went. Everybody had those one places to go, and you had to go and you had to rap and you had to be good. So anytime we go to the UG, you was gonna see, our clique, you was gonna see, my group, you was gonna see Banner, you was gonna see Hugh and Zarin, you know what I'm saying, the Ragabunkins. You was gonna see Wildlife Society.
Yeah, shout out to Rain Man.
You know what I'm saying? So all of them was gonna be in the building doing their shit, and that's what we did every week. So Donnie Money was really responsible for really being the first nigga that put the money behind giving us a platform and a place for us to live.
Man, one time for Donnie Money, man. Thank you so much, because I don't know if that didn't happen.
Man. I
don't know if we would even be sitting here having this conversation. I mean, if you was gonna make it, you was gonna make it. Yeah. If you was gonna rap, you was gonna rap.
Right.
But it's so much more authentic. Even as I listen to some of your old stuff to the new stuff, even when you do features with some new artists or whatever, you haven't really done many of those in a second.
I'm not rapping them. I ain't rapping since
So what was your last feature? Was it Fist Pump or?
Probably 2014, maybe.
Was it Fist Pump?
2015. No, I think I did something with Savvy.
Okay.
After that, I think I did something with Savvy.
Are you gonna do something with Silas?
We already did something.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you still doing features?
So I mean, when this hasn't been lately, we got something that we just sitting on, and really, it was kind of more so of I didn't really want to release it and do it.
Yeah.
You know, when I made the decision to really start rapping, you know what I'm saying, I really aimed to kind of really stick to it and concentrate on other stuff. Because I feel like I had done all I could do on the rap side. It was nothing really left for me to accomplish in there. So the bug is never going to leave. I'm not going to say it's never, ever, ever going to happen again. The situation might call for it, but, you know, yeah, it's been probably 5, 6 years since I actually actively went in and did some shit.
Wow. Now, so I'm saying you have finally, that's your final decision, like you're done?
Mm-hmm. Because with me, honestly, you know, everybody has to learn how to evolve and grow and reinvent themselves and reimagine themselves, because you don't stay stagnant. You don't do one thing forever. You never do. And I don't want to get myself into that pit to where you can't get out of it. I got a lot of other interests and other things that I want to do in music and in the city as well that I do outside of music. And for me, around 2012, 2013 anyway, shit started feeling like a job anyway. So I always said to myself from the beginning when I first started rapping that when the music shit felt like a job to me, it was going to be time to quit. So, you know, when I got to the studio and I had to start planning my day, and I had to start, when you have to start making decisions based upon what you think is going to be more expedient for you to get to the end of what you're trying to get to, when you make decisions, what you really feel in your gut, and you got to make those decisions, then it's really time to stop doing music at that point, because I was more in tune with trying to figure out what can I do to get this to pop the fastest, and it was really going against internally what I wanted to do as far as being creative and as far as doing music is concerned. So, you know, I always had the goal of, at one point, taking this knowledge that I got and transferring it and giving it to the next generation and giving it to somebody else. And when I found an artist that, you know, I always said what I needed to do is when I find put as much into them as I would have put into myself.
Right.
And that's the first person that I need to go with, and that was Dear Silas. So when I started fucking with Dear Silas, I said then that, you know, it just happened organically. Like it happens and you feel it and it happens naturally. I started pouring into him as much as I would pour into myself. The same shit that I would do for me to get me to a point, I was willing to pour that into him and give it into him selflessly without even worrying about what was going to be in it for me. And when I started doing that, then that's when I knew it's time for me to transfer into the manager's role. And now I can take this knowledge now and I can give it and I can pass it down and make this next generation go further and farther than we ever did. Because at the end of the day, that's really what it's about. I want these niggas to go farther and do better than we did. You always want the people that come after you to go farther and better than you did. It was never intended for our generation to reach that point. That's not what was in the cards. And I tell people all the time, it's really intended for these niggas after us to be the ones that are going to be able to do it. We was just here to be a platform and a setup for the next round of niggas to be able to do it. We did well, and we did as good as we could with the knowledge that we had and with the effort that we put in. And we gave it the best that we could that possibly we could give it, and we reached that ceiling. So now it's up to us to help the next round of niggas make it and go further than, you know, we did. You know what I'm saying? And really, at the end of the day, I really feel like they're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Dear Silas is gonna go way past where I have ever gone. He's gonna go way farther than that. And that to me is even more fulfilling than it is for me to have done it myself.
And it shocked me that you was on that train. You know, because I know how passionate you are about hip hop and bars. And at the same time, I didn't know that he really had the bars, but I mean, that guy got bars.
He's good.
Gullah
good.
Island was the first situation. And I saw a an Instagram post from somebody that was probably in Iowa. I don't know who this chick is or whatever. She was in her college dorm riding on the hoverboard. I mean, when I tell you she turned up, when they, you know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm talking. You know what video I'm talking about, don't you? The girl, she was riding the hoverboard in her dorm room, and she was
Oh yeah,
man.
On the Island tip. Yeah.
And I was like, man,
Yeah.
that's when I started paying attention for one. And then when I just started seeing him do his freestyle, I mean, Skirt was, it's so. Hey, I get it, but I didn't ever see the union of y'all two coming together because of it's new rap, and then you know what I'm saying. I always thought that y'all was gonna be, you know, just really hard, headstrong on. If it don't sound like this, like I said, the evolution was never gonna come in anybody's mind.
That's the problem that happens with a lot of niggas. Like when you have a definite box that you want to put yourself in, that's when you're gonna always fuck yourself over at the end of the day. You got to be able to think outside of your comfort zone, and you got to be able to think outside of your box if you're gonna be successful. One of our biggest problems around here is that niggas don't learn how to evolve and change, and they stay stuck in the same shit all the time.
Be versatile.
And if you don't learn how to evolve and reinvent yourself, it's gonna be a problem. So when I first saw Dear Silas, I saw something in him that was different than any. First of all, he was different than anybody else that was around. Because I get that question a whole lot, which is crazy. Because motherfuckers is like, you know, and why him? You know, and how did that happen? You know,
No,
motherfuckers
you like
are
that.
amazed, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, first of all, he got bars. And if I'm nothing else, I'm a lyricist. And if nothing else, I'm going to be, you know what I'm saying, very in tune to what niggas is spitting. So motherfuckers didn't know that he had bars like that. They know now, but they did. But, you know, what I saw in him, you know, I saw somebody that rapped. I saw somebody that sang. I saw somebody that played a trumpet. I saw somebody that, you know, was a fantastic genius level graphic designer and animator and actor and all these things. And his talents went far surpassing just music. And all he needed was some direction and somebody to help him point that shit into, you know what I'm saying, a focused plan and make that shit work. And my goal was always to get with somebody that was going to be a world artist. Like, I'm not concerned with, and we don't concern ourselves with every day worrying about Jackson or worrying about Mississippi. Like, that's not our goal. That's not our concern. Our concern is the world. If you get the world, you get Mississippi by default, because Mississippi is a part of the world. So, you know, I tell people all the time, man, you shoot and you aim for something much bigger, and then you worry about that. Like, motherfuckers concern themselves too much around here with I'm hot in Jackson, or I'm hot in Mississippi, or I'm in the top 10, and they be concerned with lists, and I'm the first, and I'm the only, and all that shit. That shit doesn't mean shit at the end of the day. At the end of the day, what matters is the data. What matters is the results. What matters is the engagement that you get. That's what matters at the end of the day. It matters where the people who are watching your content, it matters where they are coming from, and you got to make sure you watch what city and state they coming from. And he was somebody that was punching all of those buttons, and that's why he's doing as well as he's doing right now nationwide. And people don't really notice it and take notice of it because of the lane that he's in and the music that he does. But you know, right now, nobody is doing what he's doing. Ain't nobody touching what he's doing number-wise. Nobody is touching what he's doing engagement-wise. And it's going under the radar for a lot because his subject matter ain't the same subject matter that a lot of motherfuckers do. But for me, from a business end, it made perfect sense. And, you know, that's how we took it. And we started off and we put our plan together, man, and plan worked.
And it makes so much sense what you just said, because you single-handedly brought Big Crit to dreams. And
wasn't single-handedly, but
well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
And nobody really, I mean, people came, but it wasn't like it should have been as far as the support, because they didn't know.
Right.
You knew.
You gotta think. You gotta. Like I said, you gotta think ahead, man. Like, this shit is chess. It's not checkers. And you gotta be able to think 5-6 moves ahead of what other niggas is doing, and you gotta be able to think 5-6 years ahead of what other niggas are saying. And we brought Crit. Probably, you know, Scrap brought him once. You know, we brought him to Dreams. Crit came to Jackson maybe 3-4 times before we actually came the last time, and the shit started popping. I've seen Crit evolve. Yeah, Hell Math.
Yeah.
I've seen Crit evolve from that shit to where he is right now, to the point where, you know, he's independently out here killing the game, making money, touring, merchandising, putting his music out. Motherfuckers don't understand. It's been a 10-year ride for him to get to this point where he's at right now, where he's making some real money right now. You know what I'm saying? When I used to travel the state, when I went to Meridian and Crit was there, Crit was coming in the radio station, sitting there with me, listening to me do my interviews when I was coming through Meridian as an artist. And I remember him being a young cat coming in, fucking with me and Banner. And then when he moved, and then when all this shit happened for him to get to the point that he is right now, man, that shit took some time. It took 10 years for that to happen.
10 years.
And people got to understand that this shit takes time for you to build a firm foundation. Nothing happens overnight, and nothing happens fast. And you have to be willing to be patient. You know, when we started with Dear Silas, we sat down and we said, we putting this 5-year plan together. We mapped out this entire plan. And we're going to follow this plan to a T. You know, I call it plan your work and working your plan. So we worked that plan. And in year 4 of the 5-year plan of us rocking this shit, that's when we ended up doing the RCA deal, the RCA and the Sony deal. So right now, he's the only nigga in the state that has a major label situation or a partnership. The only motherfucker outside, of course, you know, you talk about Ray Shremmer, you talk about Crit, and it's a partnership, which is not him signed as an artist, but, you know, we're signed as an entity where we can move around and do all the shit that we want to do. It's kind of unprecedented to be able to do the shit that he's doing, but it took some time to get there. It didn't take time. So when people come to me now, like, I want you to do for us what you did for him, like, nigga, you got to be patient. You got to take time. So if you waiting, I run into niggas all the time, so I'm like, man, you know, I've been rapping for 18 months, nigga, and ain't nothing happened. I'm ready to quit. I'm like, nigga, that means you wasn't really ready to do shit already off top. Like, you know, you gonna go through 2-3 years in this shit without even blinking. You're gonna look up and it's gonna be gone just like that. So if you're not prepared to really be patient enough to build a foundation, you know, it's like building a house. A lot of motherfuckers is building their shit on sand, and that shit is gonna fall because you're not building a firm foundation at the beginning. If you build a foundation from the beginning, when that motherfucker actually gets built, it's gonna stand, and it's gonna stand through hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, or whatever the fuck. But it takes time to motherfucker. Anybody that make houses and build houses know it takes time to lay that motherfucking concrete and lay the motherfucking foundation on that bitch.
Listen,
you gotta do it.
I couldn't wait to jump in on this. I was just. I'm over here. I'm like, oh, y'all hurry up. I'm ready to jump in on this.
Ladies first.
KamiKaze, listen. Okay, now I'm finna speak on what you just said about the time and this, that, and the other. Okay. At what point should an artist know, look, bruh, it's been X amount of years.
This ain't it.
At what point of so much time? And I know you spoke on being patient, and I know you spoke on, like you said, it took him 10 years, you know what I'm saying? But, okay, 30 years to pass. You know what I'm saying? At what point should, I'm just giving an example, but at what point should an artist know? It's been X amount of years, and ain't nothing, you still ain't, you know what I'm saying? But they're so passionate about it, you know what I'm saying? And they just know, you know what I'm saying, at some point that it's gonna happen. But at what point should an artist know?
Get a job.
It's time to do something else.
Get a job. I'm
else.
gonna tell you this, it might not be the answer that you're looking for. And when it comes to a person's art and it comes to their creativity, you can't tell a motherfucker when they should stop. If they are 50 years old and they feel like it's something that's still in them and they still passionate about it, I say let them do it. Now, at the end of the day, you got to be able to be smart enough and have common sense to be able to look at the results that you're getting. If you a motherfucker that just likes making music for the sake of making music, and you like going into the studio and making product and letting a few of your friends hear that shit, and you just want to create art, do that shit forever. But if you a nigga that's going in because you talking about, I want motherfuckers to hear my shit and I want to be on TV and I want to do this, that, and the other, and you not getting those results, then that might be time for you to look at this model and reinvent what it is that you're doing. It's some people that don't give a fuck about being known or being famous. They just like going and making music. It's some people that like painting for the sake of painting. They're not trying to hang up in a museum anywhere. They just like to paint and put that shit up on their wall. It's some people that like to do poetry that don't want to get in front of people and read poetry. I run into those people all the time, and those people like to write because it's an outlet for them. So creatively, if that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do it. But, you know, if you come up to me and you 45 and you saying you still trying to motherfucking get on, then that's That's a
It happens.
I mean, you know what's the problem. But see, the problem there is that nigga, if you're still trying to get on at this time at 45, you should have figured out 10 years ago that you probably need to figure out how to do this shit yourself. And you could have really put your business model together and made the shit work for yourself, and you wouldn't have to be asking another motherfucker to do some shit.
Wasted
at the end of the day. So you wasted time. I mean, you know, a lot of times, you know, people don't know. So, you know, I can't quantify, say when a nigga need to stop doing it. That's not for me to judge, because at the end of the day, if you enjoy it, I want you to do it. But, you know, as far as the business model is concerned, you should be able to look at some point and see what the return is on the investment that you putting in, and seeing if it's the same. And you need to scale back on that shit, or B, you might need to look into doing something else. And I tell motherfuckers all the time, it's a lot of careers in music that don't involve you being a rapper.
Right.
You don't have to motherfucking rap. Like, everybody thinks that you gotta rap and be out in the front. Most of the motherfuckers that make money in this business anyway don't even rap, and they behind the scenes.
Behind the
Never
scenes.
seen.
So, you know,
Behind the scenes.
Because I never seen Slim.
no, I mean, you know,
Yeah,
you
okay,
seen
that's
them
the- you
sometimes,
never
man.
seen
He
Slim.
was behind the scenes.
I mean, I
man.
didn't know people still alive. You know what I'm
So, I
saying?
mean, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, find another career. You know, be a videographer, be a DJ, be a promoter, be a manager. You can be around music, and you can affect what's going on with music, and you can contribute to it, but you don't necessarily have to rap at the end of the day. You don't have to. But, you know, a lot of times motherfuckers do. So if that's what you want to do, I like it. You know, if you like it, I love it. But, you know, at some point, you got to really look around and look at the results. You know, I'm a results, and I'm a data, and I'm an analytics person, and I have to be because I'm in the business. So you got to look at the return on what it is that you putting in on shit.
Right.
You got to understand at some point, you know, shit, this ain't making sense. It's like owning the club. It's like doing anything, man. If you motherfucking putting in more money than you getting out of it, if you put more energy into it than you getting out of it,
Speak on it.
Turn me up, Kyle.
you know, you gotta at that point you gotta decide on shifting gears. Sometimes motherfuckers don't, and sometimes they crash and burn. Sometimes motherfuckers learn. You know, even with me, it got to the point where I knew that I had hit a wall. You gotta know, like with anything,
You
man,
got
you
bars though,
gotta
man.
know.
You are.
Bars is good, you know. I
And you
sit
can hang
around,
with
we can rap with motherfuckers all night long, and that's great. We can get in a circle, we can sit here and drink and smoke, and we can motherfucking rap. We rap for motherfucking 5-6 hours. We do that
Bars ain't
shit.
paying no light bill.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Right.
saying. But you know,
That's wasting
at the end of the day, when you get into the business of this shit, like motherfuckers gotta understand, and a lot of niggas in Jackson don't, that you know there's doing music, and then there's music business.
Come on now.
It's two totally different things.
Come on now.
Some motherfuckers is operating in this realm of I'm doing music, and some motherfuckers is operating in the realm of doing music business. And the niggas that's over here in the music business side
Just
of
need
it,
ice.
our thought process is much different than it is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
I feel you. I know. I think he need a refill too. He might need some more ice.
Yeah, you refill. What's
Need
in
a
the-
little ice and some jacks.
Shout out to
Hey,
what my boy name from last night, Lee SC. Shout out to Lee SC, man.
Lee SC was back there.
Man,
Yeah,
Lee SC
he
had
was
us,
nice,
man. My boy had
That's
us
a
turn.
jack.
I gotta get him back in there. I gotta get him in the cave and get him on this thing,
You
man.
already know it's coming.
Yo.
Okay, but before even we get to my next
Yeah.
thing that I want to talk about, but
Mhm.
you had mentioned, you know what I'm saying, as far as artists in Mississippi with deals, and you was like, you know what I'm saying, it's only, you know what I'm saying,
That's coming up.
Silas,
Mm-hmm.
Crick,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you said Ray, I don't even know.
Ray Shrimmer.
Is that how you say it, yo?
Yeah,
coming up.
Shrimmer.
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 Shrimmer?
Yeah.
You know it's backwards eardrum though,
It
but
is.
everybody,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, even, now, we know for a fact, yeah, that they from here.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't even really hear them. They don't rep Mississippi. I can't really just
I
say
didn't
that.
even know they was from here.
Man,
I didn't even know that.
Yes,
Yeah, you do.
They're from Tupelo.
but I don't get to hear it. You know what I mean? I hear the music, but I mean, you know,
You know the other one name?
I don't know one
That's
of them.
a good question.
See what I'm saying?
Good question. It's Sway Lee and
Sway Lee.
and the other nigga.
The other
Yeah, Slim Jimmy. Slim Jimmy.
Slim Jimmy. I would have never knew that.
Slim Jimmy actually back in Tupelo, like Slim Jimmy really cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with him, it ain't my business, but you know, they up there doing their thing. But my question always is, I ask niggas when I hear this shit, what's it look like? What's the definition of it?
Please.
Rep
somebody-
Mississippi to
somebody.
me. If you just for a quick You know what I'm saying?
Let me see that bottle while you go ahead.
My gosh, the dumb bottle tonight.
We're not gonna show the bottle.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
We're not gonna show the bottle because they have not bought sponsorship yet. So we're not gonna pump them up like that.
Patron need to sponsor me.
No, don't call their name. They ain't gave you no money yet.
Man,
Don't call their name. They ain't gave you no money yet.
They do.
but representing Mississippi to me is, at the end of the day, you do have to do what you have to do for you.
Mm-hmm.
To get your brand, your music, your situation into a situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I say that they are on a scale that they can bring some attention to if they know somebody that's good, that they believe in, you know, to the front.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a problem with myself personally. Now, you said I can ask you anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say what I say.
That's cool.
But I had a problem with the fact of y'all being the group, but we brought Mr. Marcus. That bothered me. Because you know from the door, this man got bars. You know this man really makes music. He's not just rapping. KamiKaze is not just rapping. And then
you talking about with Banner? You talking about?
Yeah, I mean, just, you know what I'm saying, as far as, you know what I'm talking about, being a staple for the state and, you know what I'm saying, bringing your people in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, T.I. brought in whole PSC. Coach Kane had a whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I got it, but I ain't know we just gonna listen to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, Pastor Troy, he had the DSGB boys, but ain't really nothing come behind that. But he still put his people. Mm-hmm. And then you went and got a person from Memphis. And you was kind of just running with that. And instead of running with...
So, I'm finna give you the real story.
Oh, shit.
I brought Marcus.
Oh, Lord.
I brought Marcus 2 Banner.
Thank Oh! Okay, let's get the truth.
I brought Marcus 2 Banner. Pass me that bottle there.
He gonna coke. He gonna
Please
coke.
tell
We're not gonna really call their name, but shit, they such a brand name. Everybody,
Man,
everybody know what that
I
bottle is.
can't get
know.
But, you know, that's how you work it. The niggas see your bottle, they know what's happening.
There
Whether
you
it's got a
go.
goddamn label on it or
You
not,
know
right?
what's in it, period.
Right, period. So look at them take that label off that Coke bottle. You know what the fuck.
They tried.
We tried
It's
it.
all good. It's all good. It's all good. You can't really beat Coke.
This is Crypto-Cola.
And right across
Shout out to Killer Mike.
and right across me every time.
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
So anyway,
Sorry, baby.
I brought Mr. Marcus to Banner, as a matter of fact. So Marcus was on Hourglass. So Marcus was in a group called the Doberman Gang with another cat named Scrappy. It was Scooby and Scrappy. And Marcus
I like that name.
was a $1 million nigga. And Scrappy ended up going back to Memphis, or something happened. Scooby was here. And I knew Banner was in a position to do better for Scooby than we were at the time because he was where he was at. So I set up the conversation with him and Scooby to talk, and Scooby ended up going and fucking with Banner. And that's what the shit is all about for me at the end of the day, because what would it profit me to keep a nigga here that's
Right.
possibly $1 million nigga
Right.
when he can go into
okay.
another
So
situation
you put
and be in
people
another
on,
situation.
put people in
So,
position.
I mean, that's what I always, because me helping another motherfucker is not going to hurt my position.
Right.
So I've never been like, motherfuckers always ask me that shit all the time. Like, dude, I don't have, me and Banner talk regularly to this day. That's gonna always be my nigga. It's never been a beef. It's never been a problem. Anything that I've ever asked that nigga to do, he's done. Right now, if I call him on the phone right now, he gonna do it. At the end of the day, I'm a man before everything else. And Sam Franklin taught me that you don't ever need another nigga to do shit for you. So I did it myself. I didn't need Banner to help me get on. I created my own label.
You did.
And came up with my own records. And I sold motherfucking 35, 40, 50,000 copies of my independent records and made $250,000 on that shit and did all that shit on my own. So I didn't need him to do that. So I don't be, when I be seeing niggas, they be mad. Like, nigga, I don't want. What the fuck is you? I was in a group with the nigga and I'm not mad. Why you mad? I don't understand. How are you mad? I was in a group with the nigga and I'm not mad. How are you mad? Somebody who wasn't even in a group with the nigga. So I don't get. What niggas thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Niggas feel a certain way, and I can understand it. You can have an opinion of what you feel like a nigga is supposed to do. That's cool. But I didn't need him to do that for me. Whenever I needed him to do some shit, he did it. When I needed a beat, he sent it. When I needed a verse. He sent it. That's all I need you to do, nigga. I don't need you to hold my hand.
Right.
The rest of this shit, I did the shit.
That makes so much sense.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it worked out, you know, as it was meant to work out at the end of the day. And I'm not really worried
a lot
about
of
it.
questions.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, that's that. I mean, because I know those always come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You and I have had those conversations before, but, you know, like, you know, niggas can stop being mad at Banner or whoever the fuck else. They can stop being mad. Like I said, I was in a group with the nigga. There would be no David Banner if it wasn't for Crooked Lettaz. And he'll tell you that. Right. And I'm not mad. It's nothing for me to be mad about. I did everything that God intended for me to do on my end. So I can't be mad at that.
So with the name Crooked Lettaz, and you say every time someone say it, you know, they saying Mississippi. So, I mean, were you proud to hear that on P Valley as far as that song? Knowing that, I mean, you know, Crooked Lettaz,
you know what I'm saying? We didn't have a motherfucking patent on M.I. Crooked Lettaz.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, that's why we grew up spelling Mississippi like that. So when I heard it, I was like, okay. I mean, you know, for me, that was probably the easiest shit that the motherfuckers came up with. They probably told that nigga, hey, you need to come up with a song and sound like some Mississippi shit, go in the studio, do some shit. He probably looked at the papers like, shit, let me say M.I. Crooked Lettaz I. And ain't nothing new. We done heard it before a million times.
It was about the stripper, though.
I mean, you know, it's about the stripper, okay, cool. I mean, that's gravy.
Miss Mississippi?
Yeah. You know, I'm cool with it. I don't have an issue with it at all whatsoever. I don't have an issue with the show. I don't have an issue with the song. You know, it's spotlighting Mississippi, and there's been more talk about it in the past couple of days than it's been in a minute. So, you know, whatever gets the conversation going.
But there's no Chuckalisa for real, so
yeah,
I mean
it's not. But shit, there's a whole bunch of other shows where they make up cities on them motherfuckers too.
True, you know what I'm saying?
So I mean, you know, it's TV, nigga. Like it's TV. It's TV. It's make believe, nigga.
Check this out though. They really be looking for Chuckalisa on the map.
I mean, well, that's good. At least some of them niggas need to learn geography anyway.
Straight up.
So, I mean, you know, if it's
really
helping niggas
check
learn how to read a map, then that's fine. If that's the residual effect of it, you know what I'm saying? Because some niggas can't use a map. So if you're looking for Chuckalisa, if that makes you get a map and look at it and learn geography, great, nigga.
How many counties in the state of Mississippi?
Huh?
How many counties?
82.
Now let me change the subject a little bit. I want to speak about Jackson Indie Music Week. Let's talk about that. Tell me all about that and let the people know that don't know about this. That's what I want to talk about.
Okay, that's a good question. Excellent. You were prepared. I like that. So Jackson Indie Music Week is a seven day independent music festival that takes place in Jackson, Mississippi. This is the 6th year of it. And it kind of started with me as an artist going to South by Southwest and going to A3C in Atlanta. And, you know, one of the things, I've always been a nigga, when I go other places and I see niggas doing shit, the first thing that comes to my mind is these niggas is not smarter than me. The shit that they doing, I can do that shit. So when I go to South by Southwest and I see the shit that they doing and I see how South by Southwest is in its 15th year, 16th, 17th, 18th year, and it brings in millions of dollars to the city of Austin, Texas. Nobody knew who the fuck Austin, Texas was until South by Southwest came out. Austin, Texas has now become one of the meccas of independent music in the world because these niggas decided to have South by Southwest in the city. So when I went there, I was like, shit, these niggas ain't no smarter than me. I can do the same shit. Yeah. We are, you know, Mississippi is the birthplace of America's music. And I tell people that all the time and people don't understand that. Whether you're talking about country music that was created by Jimmy Rogers and Meridian, when you talk about B.B. King, Robert Johnson, you talk about Leontine Price, you talk about rock music, you talk about all the forms of music, all that shit was formed in Mississippi. We are the birthplace of America's music, you know. And the shirt that I had on in the picture, like, Mississippi is little Africa. And what Africa is to the world, Mississippi is to the country. We are the cradle of civilization for black folk in this country. So when you come from that soil, it's only right that we have a music festival that matches the history that we have. So we have a 7-day music festival that covers all music, just hip hop, blues, gospel, country. We have all different forms of music. Because this is what we are. I'm about embracing what we are and embracing our identity and telling people the positive shit. Like, you know, there's no reason why a motherfucker should be from Mississippi and go any place else and feel inferior to any nigga any place else, because the soil that we come from is holy land. This is holy soil.
Right.
This is shit was created here that is permeated through to the rest of the world. So there's no reason why we should go anywhere and hold our head and be ashamed or embarrassed to say that you from Mississippi.
Okay.
So when we put that together, you know, like I said, we in the 6th year, and the numbers go up each year, man. We have people from all across the country that submit to be a part of Jackson Indie Music Week. So during that week, it's motherfuckers from all over the country that is here in the city that's coming in here taking on the culture of this city. And, you know, now we got to the point where the city of Jackson understands, the government understands that, you know, creative economy and the music economy, we're actually bringing real money into this city. We're actually bringing real dollars into the city. So now what you need to learn how to do is you need to invest in this creative community, not just the business community. You need to invest in the creative community as well, because we are bringing dollars. We're bringing people into this city during that week that are spending money on Ubers, they spending money on hotels, they spending money in restaurants, they spending money in
bars,
you know,
and
bars,
clubs,
clubs, all kinds of retail shops. You got people in town that are doing all that shit, and that shit that we're doing is contributing to those numbers. So you take those, you know, like I said, I'm a data person, I'm a numbers person. So when you do that, you take that shit in. When you sit down with the mayor and you sit down with the city council, and you say, look, this is what's happening, and this is what we bringing in. These are the numbers that we doing. Y'all need to really look into investing into this. This is one of the reasons why people was talking about P-Valley. We need to talk to our legislators, and we need to talk to the people that are in Congress, because that's where the motherfucking problem lies. We need to make people understand that they need to be investing in a sound stage. You need to be investing in a studio, so that when people come here and they want to shoot shit, they'll have some place to shoot it. And they won't have to go shoot in Atlanta, because they can come here and shoot. This is one of the reasons why Tyler Perry built his studio, because when you have a studio and a sound set to be able to do shit, motherfuckers is gonna need to use that. Having a sound studio is the equivalent of having just a regular recording studio, because niggas always want to record. Niggas always want to shoot movies. So if you got that, they gonna come over here and do that. So that has nothing to do, like I heard people coming up with all kinds of ridiculous ass reasons why they ain't come in, what they was doing, you know, and they tweeting Katori and blowing up her mentions and shit. But motherfuckers don't just understand how basic business works.
Right.
And in basic business, you know, you can't shoot some shit somewhere where there's nothing there for you to be able to shoot. You know, they shot the opening of the show. They went through the Delta and shot it. But that's the best that they could do, because there was no place for them to shoot. No building, no set, none of that shit for them to be able to shoot the shit that they needed to shoot. So they needed to shoot it in a place that was going to be economical for the budget, because Katori got a motherfucking win. She got to take that budget that Stars is giving her, she got to make that shit work. Because if the budget don't work, P-Valley ain't going to be on the air. So, you know, I am invested in her making it to the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th season, because by that time, it's no telling how much Mississippi shit we can have at that time. But, you know, let her get her feet wet and let her get her shit renewed for a couple of seasons first before y'all get on here talking about what the fuck she doing and how niggas is talking and all that shit. But, you know, that's just regular nigga shit. Niggas don't understand business, so they gonna talk what they talk. I don't like how they talking. I don't like how they saying this.
Speak on it, man.
You know, that's just extra shit. That's broke nigga talk to me, really, is what that is.
Please
broke nigga talk.
Please believe.
Oh, I thought a broke nigga said something. Shit.
And let me say that too, because I know a lot of times when I be doing these interviews, especially when I be drinking and smoking and shit, you know, I say shit motherfuckers might take it the wrong way.
Fuck that shit.
When I say broke nigga talk is basically when niggas come up with obstacles and reasons not to do shit, as opposed to finding ways to make shit happen.
Right.
Broke niggas always make excuses for why you can't do shit. Niggas that make money figure out ways to make shit happen, even if it look like you can't do it. You speak on solutions and ways to do shit. So if you see in a show and the first inclination you have is to be negative about it and say, this is why I don't like it, then I call that broke nigga talk. Instead of looking at the shit and saying, this is how we can use this shit to make this statement. Right. Shit. So it's all about mindset, man. It's all the way you think about shit, really.
That's all. That's man. It makes so much sense.
This would work.
Did you know what I'm saying? Might not even submit one of yours, or did you submit something for Silas, or did Silas submit anything, at least for season 2, possibly?
I mean, well, that's already happened. You know, they already reached out. They actually reached out.
Oh, wow.
You know, they actually reached out for some criminal shit. Like when they reached out and got the recent, you know, they reached out for some posters. I got emails it was probably like maybe almost a year ago. And they was looking for posters and stuff to put up in the club. So, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't have any actual shit to motherfucking sin. So me and Banner had a conversation about that, but you know, there was some talk about some Crooked Lettaz music in there as well. You know, some issues with Warner Brothers and Universal that we got to make sure, because it has to be cleared, not just from us, but it's got to be cleared from Warner and Universal as well. So, you know, that was an issue. But, you know, that was a learning process. Like, they'll never have to do that again for any of my shit, but for the Crooked Lettaz shit, when we was young, we didn't know any better. You know, we had to learn this process. So when they called and saying we want Crooked Lettaz in some shit, which they did at the very beginning, and a lot of people don't know, they called to put our shit in it. But, you know, Warner Brothers and Universal, you know, was bullshit, and I don't have any other way to really kind of sugarcoat that.
Because Warner Brothers the only ones that be shutting the DJs down on
yeah,
Facebook.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is a motherfucker. So, you know, when you have to get those okays, you got to get the okays from everybody across the board. Damn. So, you know, me and Banner saying, cool, you know, yeah, cut the checks. And then they go up here and say, hey, let's get this song. And them niggas be like, no. And sometimes them motherfuckers will say no just for no reason. They'll just say no just for the fuck of it. That's why it's very important for you to own your shit.
So just right quick, we ain't gonna have a problem with paying getting crunk or
No.
Okay, I ain't gonna get muted. No.
If you ain't get cut off, you good.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying, man, them motherfuckers will send a message saying, hey.
They'll send it. No, they'll send it right off the bat. I mean, I know it. They'll send it.
So we good.
Right. Yeah, no, you good.
Now let me touch back on the Jackson Indie Music Week. Okay. Now I know we got the coronavirus and all this COVID stuff going on. When is it normally held? Like,
it's held the second week of January every year. The week before, whatever the date of Martin Luther King's holiday is, it's the week before that. So it's either going to be the first or the second or the third week of January. And I don't know what the exact date is for 2021. So, you know, of course, with the pandemic, you know, we'll probably be adjusting some things. Hopefully by that time, we'll be able to, you know, have some in-person events. I'm hoping.
I'm hoping too.
That shit has shut down a whole lot of shit. But if not, we'll learn how to adjust and we'll learn how to make it happen. It's going to happen, but like I said, whatever the Monday is when it's Martin Luther King's birthday, the week before that is going to always be the week. And it's perfect because...
The 10th.
10, yeah, there you go. So,
That's Sunday before Martin.
Come through, manager.
So, you know, we want people to look out for that, and we want people to stay in tune for that. But, you know, it's going to go down as usual, and we'll figure out what we need to do and how to make that happen. But it's going to happen, and it's going to happen every year at that time. And we do that because A3C is in October every year in Atlanta, and South by Southwest is in March every year. So what we want to try to be able to make for independent artists, we want them to be able to say, I'm going to go to Atlanta in October, and I'm going to be in Jackson in January, and then I'm going to make my way over to Austin in March. So in January, it's not a lot of shit going on. It's perfect. You know, people coming out of Christmas, people got money in their pocket. All of the books at the radio stations and all of these different sponsorships and these companies, when you talk about sponsorships, they books is wide open in January. So it's easy to go to them and say, hey, we got this going on, and we have this record, and we got this sponsorship deck. Why don't y'all come and be a part of this shit? So it was strategically placed for us to be able to put it there because it helps our bottom line a lot more than anything else. And then, too, in January in Jackson, you don't know what the fuck the weather gonna be. Shit could be 85, 35.
You ain't lying about that. You ain't lying about that. Now, KamiKaze, how do you all go by selecting the artists that you choose for this
It's a submission process. So you go to www.jacksonindymusic.com. We got like a week left on submissions, but you go to www.jacksonindymusic.com. You follow the prompt, you go to submissions, and you submit your music, and it gives you all of the prompts, and make sure that you fill everything out correctly, because if it doesn't get filled out correctly, your submission will not be taken in. It's free. If you're from the state of Mississippi, it's free for you to submit. If you're from outside of the state of Mississippi, it costs you $25 for you to submit. And you submit your music, and we have a committee. I'm not on the committee that picks the music. We change the committee up every year. The committee is made up of a lot of different people from a lot of different genres of music, and we do that by design, because we make sure that, you know what I'm saying, we don't want these rap niggas walking up on motherfuckers at the gas station mad because they didn't get in shit. So we don't know. We just there. We don't. I've been doing this shit a long time. One of the things that I learned is you make sure that you be anonymous as possible when you do shit, because these motherfuckers are stupid over dumb shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You didn't make a festival, and you know these niggas want to die in that ditch. They mad about this festival. And the crazy part about it is you don't get mad when you get a rejection letter from South by Southwest. You ain't mad, but you want to get mad if you get rejected from my shit. Like, you know, we got some old bullshit or something. But at the end of the day, we have males, females, white, black, rock lovers, hip hop lovers. We put all these people in a room, and they stay in a room for like probably like 8-9 hours listening to music. We send them pizza in there. It's like they in a jury room. We send them pizza and food and shit in there. And they listen to all these submissions. And at the end of the day, they pick these artists because we don't just pick rap shit.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? We picking hip hop. We picking rock. We have a Southern Soul showcase. We have a gospel showcase. We do, you know, blues. We do country. We do EDM and electronic music. We do everything. So we got to pick enough slots to where we have all these people from different genres of music. So it's a very hard task, and I'm glad that I'm not on it, but, you know, I don't want to be on it. I don't want to be a part of it because, you know, I don't want people rolling up on me asking me about, you know, getting this shit.
So we're really trying to get this Jackson music, Indi music week, like South by Southwest.
It's going to be.
Bigger
But like I
than
said,
that.
it takes time. Like anything that I do is going to have a plan.
Okay.
And it's going to have a 5-year and it's going to have a 10-year plan. I don't ever just do shit where I just jump into it and say, fuck it, we're going to just do it and see how this shit go. We're going to sit down at the beginning and we're going to figure out and we're going to plan our work and we're going to work our plan. So the same thing that I did with Silas is the same shit we did with Jackson Indi Music Week, or the same thing I do with when we do Juneteenth on Farish, or the same thing I do when we do the Jackson Black Business Expo. Same thing. We sit down and we make a plan, do all that shit, and we follow the plan. And when you follow the motherfucking plan, you can't go wrong, dog. You put everything in place and you motherfucking adjust and you call audibles where you need to, but if you got a motherfucking plan, you can't go wrong. You can't motherfucking do this shit and win by the seat of your motherfucking pants. That's what these white folks do every day. They have a plan when they do shit. So we gonna get to where South by Southwest is, but I'm not trying to get there fast. I'm trying to get there and stay there.
Right.
It's different. You know what I'm saying? So if I get there and I can stay there, that's fine. The speed by which I get there don't matter to me. Because if I was broke today, I'm going to be broke tomorrow, and I can wait until we get to this motherfucking point till we get here.
You ain't got to run down the hill.
Yeah, I ain't got, you know, I done been without the shit for this long, so I can wait till I get to the point where I get here where this shit's going to stay. Because when it get here, I want it to stay, and I don't want it to leave, and I want it to be generational, so it's some shit that I can pass down. You know what I'm saying?
Now, right quick, even because we got a couple minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
I called you the other day, you know what I'm saying? I asked you, was everything all right with you? You know what I'm saying? Because you had a moment, you know what I'm saying? And you don't usually have those kind of moments to where you say that much.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you were speaking. What happened? I don't care if you got to use the name, if their name get dropped.
No, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you,
you
know, because I pride myself on really not reacting to shit. Because if I react to it, that means you don't fuck with me enough for me to react to it.
Right.
So, and Big can tell you this and all this.
I think
time,
they did.
For us being in the position that we in, I ignore a whole lot of shit, and I don't respond to a whole lot of shit because it's beneath me to respond to it. And it be niggas that don't understand, and be niggas that ain't in a position that I'm in or have been in that say shit and they don't understand how this shit works. So a lot of shit I just ignore.
Feeling energy.
In this particular instance, and all it was really, I woke up at 6 in the morning and I went outside to get ready to go running, and my fucking truck hit a rim, hit a pothole, and my rim was bent and my tire was flat when I came outside. So, when I get through running, I usually leave and I go to my trainer right after I get through running and shit. So this was a day when I was finna get up and I was finna have to motherfucking fuck with this tire, and I was finna have to go get this shit fixed so I can get back on the road and probably take some time out of my day. And it just happened to be the bad day. And I happened to motherfucking just see chatter and I see motherfuckers talking. And it was one of them instances where you human and you just, you respond to shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was really just, the P-Valley shit, and it was really just the instance with motherfuckers who feel like, my generation of artists are in their way, or in the way, or in people's way, or just really just chatter. Really, I'm not gonna get into it because I've had conversations with all these people.
Okay.
And and a lot of people, they see KamiKaze now, and I'm really, I'm a nice guy, and I'm a dad, and I'm a people person, and I do business and all this shit. So a lot of motherfuckers, see me now in this persona. So, you know, sometimes motherfuckers just forget. And, you know, Gold Malibu station wagon, Kaze is still in here.
Hey, Jason, all right, but even before that, we got 5 minutes for this damn camera die.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? We gonna keep going, because the live's still going.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But the camera gonna die.
All right, that's cool.
So,
How that gonna? Oh, the other camera gonna die right there, but you got the live right there. That's what you're doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, you
Oh, y'all got.
man.
Oh, it's too. Oh,
Yeah.
Man, nigga doing it, man. These niggas doing it, man. That nigga said the camera finna die, but the live gonna keep going. How you gonna do that?
Yeah.
How was that gonna happen? I see
Oh,
the
Now
phone
people are
going.
innovative, man.
Yeah.
hey, what's the word we say?
Still don't do
it. Got it.
Hey, that's it. That's it. You still gonna do it. You gotta do it.
Man.
Still gonna do it.
It's copyrighted, man. Okay.
There you go. I feel
So
that.
you know.
But yeah, man, it's just, you know, this is really just all that was, man. Like, you know, sometimes, like, I don't do a whole lot of the social media shit. I don't do it. You know, a lot of the younger cats like to do the social media shit. I don't do it. I swing down on you, and you gonna smell my cologne. That's how I do it.
I know.
Damn.
Hey,
That close.
And that's,
hey.
Need an essence.
Boy, that's a new bitch term. You know what I'm
Swing
saying?
down on you, you gonna smell my cologne. You heard?
so, you know, but the thing is, you know, I talked to everybody that I needed to talk to and got it off, and I took the post down because, you know, everybody's
So we
human.
ain't really got to talk about this.
I mean,
right
you know,
now.
you know, it's cool. I don't have no problem with it. It's just that, you know, people got to learn to take their emotions out of this shit. This business is not, it doesn't run on emotions, the music business. Like, I know for a fact when I hear niggas talk, I know that they had never been in a real boardroom, in a real label, and had a real conversation with motherfuckers in this business. Because if they did, they would really have their feelings hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you done had your shit crushed and you done motherfucking flew somewhere and had your, you know, you ain't had your feelings crushed until you done had a motherfucker that don't give a fuck about you say some shit to you and about your music, and you
Speak
gotta
on.
walk out into a motherfucking hallway and you in a whole nother city and a motherfucker that just stumped all on your heart. You know what I'm saying?
there for that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I had
They
to
blew
deal
you
with all
there.
that shit. You know, you ain't
They
had
blew you there.
you ain't had to live like, you know, when,
Just to tell you no.
when you know, me and Banner got signed, and you know, you go from the label answering your calls every motherfucking day to when they figure that, you know, you can't make money anymore, and then you calling the motherfuckers don't pick your call up no more.
So
They
that's
don't
a
answer
Tommy
the
Boy
phone.
situation?
That was a
or-
Tommy Boy and Warner
Okay.
Brothers situation. So, you know, we went from Tommy Boy to Warner Brothers. You know, motherfuckers don't respond to emails no more. They don't pick up the phone no more. And that shit will hurt your motherfucking ego and it hurts your feelings. And you be thinking, damn, man, how could a nigga who was just talking to me and being nice to me 2 months ago, how can this nigga not answer his phone right now? But that's the game. It's a cold game. It's hard, but it's fair. And I tell motherfuckers all the time, it's hard, but it's fair. So you got to understand that these niggas do not have, and that's why I move like I move now, because if it wasn't for those lessons that I learned then, I wouldn't know what to do right now. So I'm glad I got those lessons. I'm glad I got fucked over by a manager and got robbed. I'm glad that the label fucked us over. I'm glad that I had issues with ownership of my masters. I'm glad I had all of that shit to happen to me 10, 15 years ago, because it shaped everything that I talk about right now. So everything that I tell niggas is not shit that I didn't go through. I went through all of this shit. So when I'm telling you what the fuck is gonna happen to you, I'm not telling you because I'm just trying to motherfucking, you know, son you or no shit like that. I'm telling you because I know what the fuck is gonna happen. So when I tell niggas, I'm never taking an artist of mine in a situation where they're gonna be signed. And I tell these niggas these days, stop trying to get signed to labels. Motherfuckers are still around here in 2020 trying to get signed. And I tell them all the time, that's the dumbest shit to do in the world. You make yourself an asset. You make yourself an entity. You go and present yourself, man, and sit down to the table from a position of negotiating power. And then that way you can write your own ticket. When we went in with this Silas, we already had the numbers. We already had the streaming numbers. We already had the social media numbers. We already had all the reshares. We had all the shit that we already needed to have. So when we sat down with Sony at the table and they was like, hey, we want to fuck with this guy, we was like, this is what we gonna do. And this is what the fuck we gonna do. And if we don't do this, we can get up and we can keep doing the shit like we doing it already.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So either you gonna do something for us that we can't do for ourselves, or we'll walk up out of here and go back to doing what we doing, because we making bread over here already. So, you know, it ain't no, it's like, it's stupid. Why would you do all this work and put in all this leg work and spend all this money and this time and this effort to get to this point and then walk in a room and give that shit to somebody else?
Get away.
Let's wrap this up right quick.
You know what?
Let's wrap it up.
Let me tell you why we gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Be honest.
As y'all can see, we are not in the cave. You know what I'm saying? This is a pop-up show. But guess what? We're gonna have KamiKaze come back and bless the cave, because I got some treasures, some archives in the cave I need to pull out and show this man, bro. So we gonna have him come back to the cave. But KamiKaze, we thank you for swinging down.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, it's an honor.
I appreciate y'all for having me. I appreciate y'all for having me. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Do you have any contacts you want to give out for anybody that's trying to reach out to you or anything like that?
I mean, if y'all want to holler at me, man, Instagram, Mr. Franklin 601, Twitter, KamiKaze 601, business email, Hourglass Media Group, OURGLASS, Hourglass Media Group at gmail.com. Hit me up. You know, I'm doing consults with labels and artists, so it's something else we do. We do entertainment consultations, so if you are a label or an artist that's trying to figure out how to put your plan together and get organized, you come and set up a consultation with us and sit with us, and we'll show you how to figure out how to do this shit so you're not just frivolously spending money and wasting time. We got a formula that works. Everybody sees the shit. Everybody sees it is working right now. So, you know, shouts out to our whole team at Hourglass. Shouts out to dear Silas, just coming back in from LA, shooting a video. We got new shit about to drop, man. And, you know, if you want to see somebody putting on for the SIP, dear Silas is doing that right now. Like, if you really want to be in the business and you really want to know about the business and you claim you in the music business and you don't know what dear Silas is doing right now, then I know you lying and you not in the business, because ain't nobody doing what he doing right now. If he ain't at the top of your motherfucking list, then your list ain't valid. And I'm going to tell you that, not because I'm bragging to you, I'm going to tell you that because the numbers and the data and the results dictate that shit. True. So, you know what I'm saying, you go and tell me who else is doing what the fuck he doing right now. Tell me that, and then maybe we can have a discussion. But, you know, you can't right now. He is that nigga right now at this point, rapping about anime and rapping about girls that didn't want to go with him in high school. That's what he rap about. And he out here killing the motherfucking game with the content right now. So it really ain't what you rap about, niggas. It's about how you do it and how your plan is put together. So, you know, like, that's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? I want Mississippi to be great, and I want Mississippi to be what it can always be, and better than we could have even thought of it to be, man. So shouts out to the Fox Cave, and the Chronicles. I don't feel like I got as much time as Bigelow did, because I swear to God, last night, I swear to God, I watched Bigelow for 3 hours. I think I swear to God, I left and clicked over and was watching some other shit and came back. You know how you come back and you be coming back and you be looking for the shit to say was live on the shit, but I came back to this shit, that shit was still live. It was still on live. Hours went by and that shit was still on. Hours. They was just up in here talking shit, man. You know what I'm talking about? Shit.
Yo, I want y'all to tune in next Monday. We got Benicia Harris swinging down in the Fox Cave at 6:30 p.m. Y'all tune in for that. And then Saturday, September 19th, we got Core DJ Big Shockers.
Okay.
Y'all get ready for that. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Send those donations in. Cash at me, $ FoxyFit, FOXXYFIT. Send those donations in, baby. Y'all know I need this for the. Well, come on there, but I'm still gonna do it. Shout out to my co-host.
Man, we ain't even really got to stop the live.
Shout out to Dear Silas. Shout out to my team, and shout out to Dear Silas, man. Is this on?
Man. It do sound like it's on. That's
what I wanted to know last night. Is that on? Or you just, because it's got the sound stuff.
That's wrong. Don't push that.
But, I mean, sound like this just on tonight.
Once the battery die on the camera,
You can go
still going.